My name is Eric Wiesman, and I'm a creative director at Raven Software.
Okay, so tell us about the world and setting of Call of Duty Ghosts.
So the world and setting for Call of Duty Ghost, I think the most important thing is that it's brand new. We wanted to start a brand new story, a brand new setting, and a brand new world. The idea is that there's been this unthinkable mass event, and as America is used to being a superpower, one of the superpowers, right? And this has sort of turned the tables. It just knocked America down. 10 years have passed, and we've fallen. It's a fallen America. So that's where the story starts. Is you're one of two brothers that are adventuring or dealing with this world around them, this fallen America.
In this Call of Duty, we've seen the very first implementation of female models.
Mm-hmm.
Was this due to feedback from the community, or was there another reasoning behind it?
So we've decided early on that we wanted to have female characters in multiplayer. And I think that was a decision for many reasons. I think one is we do have a lot of female players. And with this new generation engine and the ability to customize your character so deeply, that was something we felt this is the perfect time to add this. Perfect time to give those players something that they could grasp onto and really build off of. So I think that was the most important side of it.
So in Ghosts, you've announced the dynamic maps in multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
So could you give us more details about those dynamic maps? Like, for instance, is the destruction that you get, is it something that's physics-based or is it scripted?
Sure. Yeah, the amount of destruction or just dynamic part of the maps, like in general, each map has its own range of the dynamics. It's a horrible way to say that, but every level itself has its own dynamic thing that occurs. And some are smaller, more tactical, smaller things, like could offer you some cover, could offer you a height advantage, could offer you an overwatch position. And some are larger, like Strike Zone, one of the maps that we've shown, where the entirety of the map changes. And
that's with a kill streak, right?
Yeah, so it's a kill streak that you earn in the game through field operations, and if you do it, it fundamentally changes the map. So as far as how it's done, it's more of a scripted side, because we want to make sure that it's the same for everybody. We don't want to have to rely on different server times, things like that. So it's very important that it's a player choice, it's a tactical choice, and that, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing.
Keep it more in an esports-based environment, so that players can plan ahead for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. They know, like, you get that care package, you can time when you use it, make sure you defend it so that you can get it, your team doesn't lose it. So there's a whole level of tactics there just to get it.
So in the multiplayer reveal, you've shown a new multiplayer mode, which was Cranked.
Yeah.
And now in the presentation, we've also seen Blitz. Any other modes that we can expect, and what is your personal favorite in terms of the new modes?
Yeah, as far as the new modes for Ghosts, we're only really announcing 3 of the new modes.
Yeah.
That was
Search and Rescue.
Yep, Search and Rescue, Cranked, and Blitz. I will admit I'm an old school Domination fan, but the new modes, I really do appreciate Blitz. It's everything that I liked about Capture the Flag, only it becomes, the tactics are even larger because you have to define your team. Who's going to go on the offensive, who's going to stay on the defensive, because anyone could be a scoring unit. So I really like that it's not just find that one person, or that one person with a flag can kind of hide out. It becomes, you always have to be aware of where you are and what's going on in the game.
What are some of your favorite new kill streaks?
There are a lot of new kill streaks, and it's very hard for me, I guess, to just pull out my favorites. And again, there's only some that we're announcing. We haven't even kind of highlighted them. I will admit that the dog is one of my favorites.
Riley?
Yeah, Riley's pretty cool. It warns you if players are coming, defends you. It's just, it's a really solid kill streak.
Actually, I was wondering something. Other people can kill Riley, correct?
Yeah, Riley can be taken out.
Because I was listening how Riley goes back if you respawn and
yeah,
and he kills people along the way.
Yeah. It's a really good kill streak to earn. Let's put it that way. But there's also, I tend to be more of a support player, so I tend to to have more of the support system. So I think there's cool things like the Maniac Juggernaut, where it's the Juggernaut is the health, more health, more armor. This time it's hand-to-hand only. It's a melee Juggernaut. So you see that character coming, you deal with it as quick as you can, hopefully.
Can you tell us a little bit about squads and the kind of work that went into AI improvements to get squads to actually work?
Sure. Yeah, squads are an important part of Ghost, and right from day one we knew that we wanted to create the most realistic bots that you could play against, enemies that you could play against. So we looked at how people play. We looked at how people use weapons. We looked at the pro players and the things that they do: drop shotting, corner camping, quick shotting. Not quick shotting, jump shotting, things like that. And we really pulled that in as behaviors that our bots do. So as far as squads go, on that side of it, there's that. But there's a whole pillar of the game that's squads, and that has where you create your own. Your soldier becomes a part of the squad. You can have multiple soldiers to fill out a roster, and you could take those in the game and play solo, play competitively, play cooperatively. So there's a whole mass of stuff there. I don't know how detailed you want me to go.
No, that was pretty good.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about that.
Keep going on and on and on.
How are clans going to work in Ghosts, and what kind of improvements have you guys really made in that area?
Yeah, so clans and Ghosts are it's integrated into the game itself, and plus it also pulls into the Call of Duty app. If you know about that, but we've really tried to make it simple that you can jump in, have your clan. Cool thing about clans is it's not platform specific anymore. So if you're playing on the PC and I'm playing on my 360, we can be in the same clan. It keeps track of our game.
But we can't cross-play.
We won't play against each other. We can't play with each other, but our stats and our scores all accumulate into the clan total.
And can you import, say, a profile from the PC into an Xbox 360 or something like that?
Yeah, so the sort of idea of take Call of Duty anywhere is that your profile is your profile. All your stats, all your your KD, your win-loss, all that, it doesn't matter what system you played on, it keeps that big picture profile for you.
It's very interesting.
That's pretty cool.
So something that we've also seen in this reveal is the new character moves, like vaulting over small obstacles, the knee sliding, and the contextual leaning, which I have to say, contextual leaning really surprised me. The way that you guys, because there's only so many numbers in so many buttons in a controller, right?
Yeah. Did you see how simple it was, though? Did they let you?
I haven't had hands-on with the game yet,
okay.
But I can see kind of how it works. It's basically through L1, right? L1, left shoulder.
It's actually it's a trigger. When you come up to it, give you the prompt, you can just iron sight essentially, and an iron sight too, and then you can loop around.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But do you guys added any other special moves or?
Well, I think that's a lot of stuff that went in there, and really the goal sort of comes back to the whole idea of those dynamic events as well, is to really allow you more connection with the world. And we want the world to be a place you can play in and not get hung up on or not be frustrated by. So especially the mantle system, the fast mantles over things, the fact that you can low mantle and keep firing, stuff like that. We really tried to, move the impediments of the world out of your way so that it's more focused on your tactics and how you're interacting with enemies.
Basically, to keep that fast-paced action going.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell us just a little bit about the territory gameplay for the clan wars thing, where they capture territories and stuff like that?
So that's from the something that Beachhead Studios been working on with Infinity Ward, and the idea is that it's a control map where there's different points around the world. This the Call of Duty world, and as you're playing your clan games, you gain points so you can own a section, and then everyone else is trying to take that from you. And I think it's every 2 weeks it resets, but it keeps track of how much progression you've made, how much your group has made. And
that will level up your clan and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, just for finishing, if you could just tell us the release dates and platforms.
Sure. So the announced release dates are
Yes.
for the Xbox 360, the PS3, the PC, and that is all on November 5th.
Everything November 5th.
Yep.
Okay.